Welcome back to 3D comparison. This will be an overview regarding the mesh quality from Tripo 3.1. So this will be the model version. Now, let's take a look over here at some models that I generated. I'm going to go within the high detail, and within the assets, we're going to see over here that we have the following model. So this will be the first one that I will analyze. This will be created using the version 3.1, as we can see. And the mesh will look as following. So we see how many fine details are added to this wooden rooster over here. We see the fine details also to the leg. And take a look over here close. Over here, we're going to have those defined as well. So as you can see, the rooster doesn't have any, let's say, talons over here. But if I will go on the information, we're going to see that the reference image actually didn't have those. But over here as well. So we see that those rooster talons were quite small over here. So the generative AI only added the talon over here on the back, as we can see it. Now, regarding the overall texture, this will look as following. So also the texture is pretty good. But if I'm going to zoom in, we're going to see that it does require additional changes over here, for example, on the eye. But this is the overall mesh, and I want to analyze the mesh topology over here. So I'm going to go ahead and I will export this as an FBX. I'm going to hit export, and I'm going to load that in within GeoMagick in order to study the mesh topology. We can also generate smart meshes. So this will be low poly models, and using the same image, this is the output. As we can see, it will look as following. Keep in mind that this will be kept. You can set the value. In this case, this was kept to 5,000 faces. And as you can see, it added 16 faces additionally. Now, let's go over here and open that wooden rooster in order to analyze the mesh. So I extracted that, and now I'm going to drag and drop. So the FBX file is quite large, 129 megabytes. So that's a lot of detail, both for the geometry and also for the texture. And we're going to see that currently the model is not being framed over here. So let me see exactly what happened. I'm just going to create a new file, and I'm going to drag and drop this again. We see that for some reason GeoMagick will not see this. So let me just make sure that I unzip that accordingly. If not, for GeoMagick, I will export this as a different file format. So I'm going to go with the OBJ in this case. That will also load within GeoMagick Studio. So GLB still isn't supported within my version. But let's take a look over here. This should now be packed as an OBJ. As you can see, this is currently being downloaded. So we have that added over here as a graphic element, showcasing that this is currently being packed and exported. We saw that for the FBX, this was prepared a little bit faster, but it doesn't matter. So I also extracted the OBJ. And in this case, as you can see, the OBJ will be even larger. So 192 megabytes for the mesh. So this is the FBX. Now let's load that OBJ file within GeoMagick, and let's analyze over here the mesh topology. Now, I'm really curious if there are any holes within the mesh, because I'm expecting some non-manifolds. But as you can see, there are two small holes. So I'm going to update and cycle between those. So currently, they are not being interactable over here. So I cannot jump between those, but I'm going to go for the self-intersection. I'm going to hit update. I'm going to enable the clipping plane. As you can see, we only have over here the following intersection. If I'm going to clip this with a clipping plane, I'm really curious what exactly is happening within this self-intersection. Okay, so it's actually this. We have the following outline of the detail of the feather, which will be a little bit inwards and connected to the exterior. But other than that, we see that the mesh is really well defined. So we do have some high crease edges and spikes, but they are not problematic. And we do have over here a small component. In this case, we have a small triangle mesh that is not actually fully linked to the mesh. But again, that is a small problem over here. Regarding small tunnels, we do have 10 tunnels. So this will be the first one. If I will enable the clipping plane, we're going to see that added geometry over here on the middle. Keep in mind that we can easily clear those within a professional software such as Geomagic. But overall, if you're going to use this model for various VR, AR, mixed reality application or for some 3D printing, those are not that problematic. We do have over here a small tunnel, so we see that over here on the tail, this section and those feathers will actually be linked over here. And now we have that on the other side as well. And there are some other small tunnels, but overall the mesh is really impressive. And most importantly, we don't have any non-manifold edges. And in my opinion, that's a really big plus. If you follow my channel, you know that I also analyze various similar tools, and they will not output such clean meshes. In my opinion, this is one of the main advantages of Tripo. Let's analyze the following case study. Will be this hedgehog made with in the shape of a pine cone. We see over here on the bottom. Also on the reference, we see the prompt that was extracted automatically by Tripo. Hedgehog sculpture with layered spines, brown and cream tones on a base with pine cone accents. So we do see the shape of the pine cones over there on the bottom. And overall the mesh looks really clean over here. I'm just gonna clip over here inside, and we do have some tunnels, as we can see over here directly. But again, if I want to further analyze this, I would drag this within a professional software like Geomagic, and then we can better inspect the mesh. Now let's jump to the following one, because this one is a little bit trickier. Other generative AI tools didn't manage to output this well, but we see over here how fine detail the bear is. Also, we have those two bear cubs over there. I'm just going to show you the image so you can see exactly how this was generated. So we do have the following bear over here. As you can see, this was made using generative AI, so the bear is not perfectly shaped. So this Tripo tried to replicate. We do have some floral ornaments on the wooden frame, but we see over here the proportions. So the output, in my opinion, is really good. And if you follow my channel, I use the same within other tools, but within this version 3.1, I see that this will output some really good models. Over here on the back, this frame has been weirdly filled, but this can easily be fixed within Blender, either within sculpting mode if you want to flatten this out. So I'm also going to make a case study regarding that if people are interested. And we also have the following, which we have over here a boxer that is punching through an older TV. And yeah, again, this mesh looks really good over here. So let me just go for the information, and this is the reference. As we can see, a really impressive job over here. Other generative AI tools struggle with this, mainly with the clipping. So we didn't really understand the depth of the image, and maybe only reconstructed, let's say, the arm and the punch. But we see over here the overall proportions. So maybe over here the muscles are slightly exaggerated. But yeah, overall the mesh looks really clean. And considering the fact that this was created using a single image, I'm highly impressed. We see over here the overall muscular feature of the character, really impressive. So yeah, in my opinion, Tripo version 3.1 outputs some incredible meshes. And you also saw over here within Geomagic that they lack problems. So when I'm saying they lack problems, I'm mostly talking about non-manifold edges and self-intersection. As you can see, the amount of self-intersection is quite limited over here. Okay, so before I'm going to end this, I'm just going to load this in. So I'm going to export this. Again, I'm going to go with FBX because usually FBX will load directly over here. within GeoMagick. And I just want to showcase the fact that even for this model, there will be few problems. So currently this is being packed over here, as we can see. I'm just going to wait for this to finish. And I'm pretty sure that the FBX will now load correctly, because last time I used this directly with FBX, I didn't have any problems within GeoMagick. So let's just open that and let's see if the model will appear. I see again that within the FBX, GeoMagick will not properly read that. Keep in mind that my version of GeoMagick is quite old. We see 2017. And that may be one of the reasons. Let me just change the overall name, because maybe GeoMagick doesn't like those plus within the name. So I changed the name over here, but again, the same problem with FBX. So most likely, the file format for FBX, there are multiple FBX formats, and my GeoMagick, since it's an older software, doesn't really read that properly. So maybe Tripo will export the FBX following a most recent model over here that GeoMagick isn't able to analyze and open. But I'm just going to use the OBJ file format, just like for the rooster, that open really well. So let's take a look over here. We have the following muscular sculpture over here. Currently, this is being finished. So I'm just going to drag and drop this. And again, I'm going to check, especially for non-manifolds and for self-intersections. And let's take a look. This was also a more difficult because the amount of depth required to recreate this was higher. As you can see, it will not have non-manifold edges. But regarding self-intersections, there will be 172. But keep in mind that those will be triangles. We actually have those within these two areas. So we do have a self-intersection over here. If I'm going to check the clipping plane, it will be somewhere within this frame. As you can see, the self-intersection, the mesh will be linked over here. So this is similar to a tunnel, but at the same time, we do have the overlap. So that will count as a self-intersection. And this will be the second one directly within the glove. As you can see over here on the interior, we do have that self-intersections. But as you can see, overall, the mesh is really well defined over here. Okay, so let me know in the comment section what's your opinion regarding this. You're going to find a similar video over here on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.